Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk, starring Katie and Ian.
What good, guys?
Okay, today's episode's a bit of a more happier news than the last few times.
Somewhat happier.
Yeah, because we're getting a Pingu reboot.
And it's by Aardman.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Let me just say this right now. I never thought we'd get a Pingu series by Aardman of all people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Out of every stop-motion studio they could have thought of, Aardman was the first one they came up with.
And I guess Mattel really said, let's just do Aardman. Let's do something good for once.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're just gonna trick people and say, hey, we're gonna team up with Aardman, but oh no, we're actually going to make it for the lowest common denominator. But I trust Aardman on this one. I hope they have creative control.
I mean, come on. You know Aardman. They've done Wallace and Gromit. They've done Shaun the Sheep. They've done Chicken Run. So I'm gonna bet you they're gonna cook with this one, because they always cook with their stop-motion animations.
They really do cook. They are absolute masters of their craft, and I know people have not been loving some of their recent stuff, but I personally think they can do no wrong. They really do no wrong. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because they are masters at their craft, and they know stuff.
Yeah. So this will be another upcoming Aardman production, along with Shaun the Sheep Season 7.
Yeah. And don't forget the upcoming Wallace and Gromit movie that...
Oh yeah, that's coming out around Christmas time in the UK, but
and then
come around January in the US.
3rd. Our first movie of next year, essentially, so... Yeah, 2025 seems like it'll be off to a good start for us, so yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a New Year's present. But anyway, we kind of got off topic there, so...
Anyways, but yeah. Let's take a look at this.
Let's see. Let's read some of this article. Barbie giant Mattel. Funny wording there, Barbie giant, because the Barbie movie was huge.
I mean, Barbie was huge. I mean, Barbie in general was just huge. But yeah, the movie was absolutely massive, and it's one of the best movies ever made, and you cannot tell me otherwise. It is super funny.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that movie.
Yeah, okay. Barbie Giant Mattel is teaming up with award-winning animation studio Aardman to co-develop a new stop-motion animated Pingu television series. The series is inspired by Mattel's beloved Cheeky Penguin, who lives in the South Pole and has stayed on our screens for decades, famous for his mischief and catchphrase, Nerd!
I thought I'd do that myself because I thought I'd probably have the better thing, but anyways.
Yeah. Designed by Ottmar Gutmann in the 1980s. The show first aired on the UK's BBC One in 1990. Yeah, that old.
Yeah, 34 years.
Yep.
If you guys are 90s kids, you're gonna feel old.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't a 90s kid, but I definitely remember watching this show during my childhood.
I do remember this show quite a bit. It was always on some of those like DVDs I had of like Kipper the Dog, Thomas and Friends, Bob the Builder.
Mm-hmm.
As like some of these hit extras, like other shows that Hit Entertainment did, and they had like extra episodes that I remembered. So sometimes I watched those, and Pingu was on almost all of them. So
I mean, I remember watching Pingu when it used to be on Netflix.
Oh, Netflix! It was on Netflix. Okay,
yeah,
makes sense. But yeah,
but I did get a couple of Pingu extras in some of my Fraggle Rock DVDs.
Oh yeah, they had some of the Fraggle Rock DVDs also had that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Josh Silverman, chief franchise officer of Mattel, told The Hollywood Reporter at MIPCOM Cannes on Monday, "You couldn't ask for a more perfect marriage than between Mattel and Aardman."
Oh my god.
Why would they word it that way?
I don't know. I think they wanted to make us laugh.
Well, that's kind of funny.
That is funny.
Okay. I was just with their team. We are, I'm assuming he stuttered there, so we are overjoyed about the project. It's going to be really, really special. Pingu just continues to organically have a tremendous amount of affection and attention, and a tremendous amount of relevance. That is
He
true.
is relevant. That is relevant today.
hmm The Pingu series. This Pingu series will be co-developed by Sarah Cox and Alan Thorpe for Aardman, and Sidney Clifton, Rob David, and Melaine Shannon for Mattel Television Studios. The toy company acquired Pingu through its purchase of Hit Entertainment in 2011.
Yes, Hit did originally produce this show.
Yes. Silverman spoke about Mattel's mission to capitalize on what can be best described as new-stalgia. Shows.
I love that term.
Yeah. Shows effectively that resonate with both adults and children because of Mattel's long-lasting legacy. For example, the familiar purple dinosaur Barney, who got a new premiere with the reboot Barney's
God, yeah, that was
14.
awful. That was awful. That was completely awful, and it just ruined the entire show. Literally ruined the entire original series. Like literally just made it look awful.
Yeah. It's an IP that is nostalgic for adults but new for preschoolers. Not that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I feel like Pingu has kind of fallen into a bit of an obscurity or something. Much like another show, which I'll talk about in a moment, which I worry about will get rebooted potentially, which we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm. Alright. I'm going to skip this paragraph because we're not talking about Barney, we're talking about Pingu. Are Mattel trying to replicate the magic in television that they were able to achieve with Greta Gerwig's billion-dollar hit Barbie? I don't know, considering Mattel's,
track record.
Yeah. But I do have faith in this series.
Because it's Aardman.
Well, kind of that. And maybe this will be the next good thing Mattel has made besides the Barbie movie.
Yeah. Imagine in a Pingu reboot actually being good, and they actually decide, hey, let's actually put effort into this one.
Yeah. And another
But
thing...
again, yeah. Oh no, you go first. Sorry.
Thanks. Okay. And another thing, I'm glad that they're sticking with the stop motion era that Pingu
They're not going the Coco Melons treatment.
Yeah, so props to you, Mattel, for actually listening.
They listened to. They clearly understood what was going on. But anyways, but yeah, Pingu has kind of fallen into a bit of an obscurity at this point, much like Kipper the dog, which is another hit entertainment show that it aired in like the late 90s and early 2000s, which, by the way, nobody talks about anymore, and I'm really upset about that because that is such a beautiful show. I will defend that show with all my life. It is a masterclass of animation, and you cannot change my mind. That is one of the best shows, period, live action or animated. Now, why do I bring this up? Well, the thing is, because Mattel is rebooting Pingu, and that's a little bit more obscure as well. I know Kipper's a lot more obscure, but like at the same time, Mattel does own it, which kind of scares me, because if they decide to reboot it, hopefully they stay, at least somewhat stay true to what it made the original series so good. Maybe bring some of the voice actors back, and do the same animation style, which was cell animation, classic 2D animation, which I absolutely appreciate. I love 2D animation so much. But there's also the real possibility that they go the opposite route, make it CGI. Yeah. Now, granted, you can bring 2D to CGI. Like, take a look at Spider-Verse. Take a look at the Peanuts movie.
Peanuts movie and Puss in Boots, The Wild Robot.
Wild Robot, like those movies and shows like that. And even Blue's Clues and You also did it pretty decently too.
Yeah, even though that one was more of a hybrid.
More of a hybrid, but also brought the animated character to CGI decently.
Yeah, I mean,
And
Nickelodeon actually added detail to the characters.
yeah, they added details, so like they made it more expressive, which I applaud them for. And also Hello Kitty Superstyle, which was like another CGI like Sanrio series that they brought it to her. They brought Hello Kitty to CGI so well in that show. So I think they could do it with Kipper. They could do it in CGI. I wouldn't be angry about that if they do it right. Kind of like make it like 2D, 3D type of style. Or like a little more bouncy than your typical like CGI reboot, like Barney or something like that. Oh my god, that was just awful.
Ugh, or even All Engines Poop.
All Engines Go was a bit different. That was CGI to 2D. Yeah, but the thing is, I really do hope that they just really keep Kipper in his 2D storybook style. Maybe make it storybook style. If you go CGI style, still keep the storybook aesthetic. Remember how they have like this whole the background is just entirely white with the exception of the sky most of the time. You know, like the background's just entirely white most of the time. I really hope they keep it that way if they ever do decide to reboot it. Or they're just going to make it super colorful to be hip with the kids. And that is something I do not want. I don't want a Kipper reboot to be given the Cocomelon treatment, have the characters sound like actual children, and act like actual legit 5-year-olds. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them character assassinations, if you will. I don't want to see them both all get assassinated in terms of their character. I don't want to see that.
No.
I will cry just because it's going to be so sad to see. What an amazing show, personal favorite of mine, bite the dust like this. And that would be my worst nightmare. I know I said the Wonder Pets reboot was my worst nightmare. I think a Kipper reboot would be my absolute worst nightmare. Because I don't want to see it get absolutely tarnished by the corporate heads at Mattel.
Unless if they do it right.
Unless they do it right like they seem to be doing here. They seem to be going the right direction here. But even then, you Mattel for even rebooting Barney and Thomas either way. Like, that's really all I say. And if you reboot Kipper, if you up Kipper, then double you. Because I'll give you 2 middle fingers to the face. Because that is just going to be an absolute final nail in the coffin for me. Because I do not want to see my favorite dog character, my favorite dog show. He's probably my favorite dog character, period. Sorry, Snoopy. I don't want to see my favorite dog character get absolutely character assassinated. Because that would just ruin everything.
Yeah.
And I'd be mad. So, Mattel, don't up a Kipper reboot if you decide to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Alright. So, that's going to be it for this Let's Talk episode. What do you think about the upcoming Pingu reboot? Do you think this is a good idea, or is it a bad idea? Let us know in the comments. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.